thanks for coming for another session of Biathlon Improvements course. Today we're going to talk about the mental organization, mental improvements. Until now we were basically focused on the how to stand, what muscles should be tightened, what muscles should be relaxed. And this is not uncommon. Like whatever course or whatever book about shooting you take, almost all of them, 99%, it will be about how to set up the hardware, how to put your bones on the ground, how to make a good position. But there will be almost nothing related to your mind. Although in this shooting, this is the rare kind of sport where it is super important. You probably know what I'm talking about. Shooting is the thing that the more you try, the worst results you get sometimes. Just because if you don't want to miss, if you're afraid of it, it most likely will happen. So that is what we call the mind preparation, and this is what we're going to be focused today. The rare exception for the books, the rare exception which talks specifically about the mental preparation is the book by Lanny Bassham. It is called With Winning in Mind. It is pretty short, even if you don't want to read through a lot, it's written very nicely, very simple, and it is talking about the basic Lego bricks that we need to build our confidence from. So the thing, and this is what I'm gonna be really briefly talk about first. Lanny is talking about the self-image and why is it important. Self-image is our presentation, how we think we are performing. It's not necessarily related to actual results, as we'll see in a minute, but this is what you think you are capable of. And interesting thing is your self-image will affect your performance. This is very weird thing, but it is there were studies about it, and they confirm that the more you're confident about something, the better are results. I can speak of myself. When I was playing the ping pong, I knew that I can do three very quick hits, and then most likely I will fail, just because I was thinking that my brain is get overheated. I cannot take more than 3. I need some rest. And I was so confident, I built this idea in my mind based on statistics, and basically I stopped improve myself. I said, oh, it's impossible to go any further. Even if the 4th hit is coming, I was like, oh, I already did 3, most likely I will fail, so I will relax, I will disfocus, I will miss it. And the other thing, interestingly enough, if I only had 2 of those hits, I will be presenting that, oh, there will be number 3. Number 3 I normally take, so I get more focused, get more concentrated, and I will take it. So the idea is our performance is following, it is pulled to our self-image. So the question is how to improve the self-image. If we make our self-image really high, above our actual capabilities, those actual capabilities will be pulled to the level, or almost to the level of your self-image. But how to do that? Self-image is normally formed by the statistics. If, in my case, I just knew that my statistics says I can take 3 hits and not 4 most of the time, and it was imprinted in my brain. So it turned out that we can improve the self-image based on the fake statistics, on the what I called chair shooting. So if you sit calmly or in the chair, if you close your eyes and say, okay, I take my rifle, I put myself into position, stopping foot, then the legs and feet, the elbow, I aim, and I take the shot with the preload, and I hit the target. Guess what happened to the statistics? You get 1 more successful shot. Just don't forget to imagine that you hit the target actually. You did hit it. So this is the free thing which is guaranteed. So, for example, if you're taking your normal exercise, you're shooting standing, before every shot, you may hit the target by the rifle or not, but if you just before every shot you close your eyes, imagine you prepare yourself and do hit the target, then you do actual shot, and then you close your eyes and do it again, there will be guaranteed 2 out of 3 success. You may miss the second, but you will hit the first and third. And that is the way to improve your self-image. To the same bucket, you can, there was a very interesting interview by Sturla Lagreit, the guy from Norway team. People was asking, dude, you just won the individual race. You never missed, out of 20 shots, you never missed one. How did you do that? It was probably very, you probably was very worried about it. He said, no, I did this race at least 15 times. How come? They said, oh, I just imagined, I was preparing myself. I imagined that I start the race, how I do the first loop, how I shoot the first shooting bout. I hit all the targets, and I do another loop. And he did it repeatedly until he was confident he was able to win it. And when he came to actual race, he said, no sweat, I already did it 15 times. What's the problem? So, this is thing number 1. Next thing is about the goal achievement. You probably heard of it a lot. Your teachers in the high school or maybe in the college, they probably talk about it all the time. It's hard to perceive, but it actually works. If you take 2 individuals, one of them come for the competition just to participate, and another person comes to win, the intention to win. Guess who will most likely have the better results? The second one, just because of the motivation. It's the same thing, it's close to getting the self-image, which is pulling towards it all the actual performance. But if you at some moment decide, okay, I want to achieve something, specifically for biathlon, the goal will be, you need to specify a goal. The goal can be easy, apart from winning the competition, which may be too ambitious, but you know that you normally compete with this person and you get 50% chance to win, or you almost always catch this person, but you never did. You say, okay, I'm gonna beat this person. Or you say, I will shoot and I hit 80% of the shots. I will hit 80% of the targets. That's another goal. You have to really decide that you do want to achieve this goal. If it's oh, I actually am okay, just practicing, I enjoy practicing, that's also okay. But the result will be better if you do put your target, put your goal in front of you. After that, you need to achieve this goal, right? So how do you do that? They say that there are very stupid, very practical advices. You take 5 pieces of paper, you take your pen, and you write it down. Not type in the computer. Typing is also working, but writing down is better. Just because as soon as you write it down, you think about it more, and it imprints in your brain. And you say, different thing. You don't say I will. Say I already did it. You pretend you already achieved this goal. You say, I hit 80% of the targets in the competition on February 28th. Then you do 2 more paragraphs. First paragraph will be why your goal is important for you. Second is how you achieve this goal. Why the goal is important can be different. You decide. For example, you say, oh, I paid $800 for my rifle. I don't want my money to be wasted, damn it. Or it can be oh, my boyfriend or friend girl, what is it? Boyfriend? Girlfriend. She's into biathlon. She's cheering, and I want to be strong in this sport just because I want to improve the relationship, right? It can be silly. It can be less silly, but there should be a motivation why you're doing it. And And second is how you achieve it. Like, for example, I do my dry fire every night for 10 minutes. Second, I do my chair shooting like 15 minutes, like I do my chair shooting just before I go to sleep, like laying in the bed. What else you can do, right? Or like the third thing, like I go to winter league for practicing, or I go to shoot indoor shooting range and practice it. Like you literally list the components that will contribute to it. Now you write it 5 times. If you are not ready to write this damn thing 5 times, you're probably not motivated, you will not achieve your goal. This is the easiest part. Just write it down 5 times. Then you put this piece of paper in every time, like in every place you normally go, like on the mirror where you brush your teeth, in your car, on your dining table, somewhere else, on your desk. Every time you see that, you read it, or like at least you become this person. As soon as you read it, you realize that is already achieved, that already in the past, I already did it. And that will get you more motivated, more concentrated, you will more likely achieve your goal. If you don't achieve your goal, put the next one in. You can take a break for like a couple of weeks or a week, but you do it again. Write it down 5 times, read it every time you see it, try to achieve it. This is the second thing. It is also mentioned in this book that I mentioned before. I will put the link in the doc. Couple more things. One thing is about practical exercises. Like for example, if you know that when you put yourself in the standing position, your rifle is everywhere. It's wobbling. It never stops. It goes makes it hard to aim. That is not related to the book, but it's also related to the mental preparation, mental exercise. There are several options there. For example, I know one thing is some person, to improve it, says, oh, I imagine myself being a rubber, I imagine my body being an empty shell, which is filled with the water and then got frozen. So I'm frozen, I never move, it's very hard for me to, even if you touch me, you will not move it because I'm frozen. One way. Another way is you can imagine yourself to be a different person. What worked for me, I knew that Yevgenia Pavlova, the Russian biathlete, she came to the team a couple of years ago, and everyone, including the coaches, said oh my God, look at her. When she was shooting first time, her rifle was absolutely still. It's very uncommon, but it's it didn't move at all. And I imagine myself, Yevgenia Pavlova, and I imagine myself in the circle of people, and everyone's saying oh my God, the rifle doesn't move. The rifle is absolutely still, and that helped me actually to keep the rifle still. Another thing is you can, for example, imagine yourself as an Eiffel Tower, the very nice structured metal thing which very sturdy, doesn't move at all. Or you can imagine yourself being a Statue of Liberty, but instead of this, something like this. So whatever works for you, try a couple of options. It may work for you. So this, and this. And the last thing I wanted to mention is concentrate on your winnings. Whatever you concentrate, the more it is better trace in your memory. For example, when I ask other folks or my students how did the race go, I always ask how many targets did you hit, because it's very common to say, oh, I missed 3. That means that you'll be concentrated on missing. That's not right. It's the same thing if you're driving the car in the race and you look at the trees and light poles. If you look at those, you'll most likely hit those. If you look between those, you will most likely go between those. So concentrate on what you hit. Concentrate on what you achieved rather than what you were afraid of having. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is basically it. Exercises today. One thing I want you to try is this self-image improvement by fake statistics. Before every shot, pick the discipline you're challenging is the most challenging for you. For example, standing. And we'll say, okay, I will do my shot, but before my shot, I will imagine I hit the target. Then I take the shot, then I close my eyes and imagine I hit the target again. So this is one thing. Another thing I want you to try is try one of those practical techniques. Imagine yourself a liquid frozen shell or some very good biathlete, you know, of shooting well, or like statue or something like that. Try that. I believe this is it for today. So it may sound ridiculous for you. You may try and it may not work for you at all. But for many of you, I believe it will work, because I strongly believe at least it worked for me. I'm talking about myself, because like external position and setting up the rifle is only part of it. The greatest part of shooting is yourself, how confident you are. Make sense? Yeah. All right, let's do it.